The vast majority of them, 13 wins to Darren Webster's 1, that came over 4 years ago against Michael van Gerwen. Dan will join us in the commentary box later on, and we'll have a special guest, but we will reveal that later on. For now, it's me, Chris Murphy, and Mike Lawrence to get us underway on this final day of action here in Sindelfingen.
Yes, really looking forward to another cracking afternoon and evening of darts here. Some cracking third round ties coming up before we get to the business end with the quarterfinals, the semi-final and the final this evening. 6 non-seeded players made it through yesterday afternoon, so 10 of the seeds comfortably through. And Darren Webster looking to start to make a difference in that incredible record he has against MVG that you alluded to, Chris.
Yeah, well, he's tried over the last couple of years. It was that famous meeting at the Players' Championship Finals in 2016 when Webster led 6-0 in the semi-final, only to lose the match 11-8. And watch as MVG took the title. Also was on the wrong end of a 4-1 in sets defeat at the World Championship the following month. But he's made a strong start here. If he gets to 6 before Michael van Gerwen this time around, he will gain his first victory for the first time in over 4 years.
Yes, both players out of the traps flying by the looks of things. Great first leg to kick us off this afternoon. Darren coming through against the last remaining German hope yesterday, Robert Marianovic, 6-3. That included a 1-3-6 checkout from Darren. Meanwhile, MVG saw off Alan Tabben fairly comfortably in the end, 6-2, averaging just over 103.
Yeah, in that tournament when Michael van Gerwen beat Darren Webster en route to his second world crown, MVG averaged at least 103 in every single round. Amazing the kind of consistently high standard of performances he can put together, but that's why he's won as much as he had. 22 of these European Tour titles, 9 events already in 2018 from just 15 that he's participated in, excluding the Premier League, which is yet to be completed.
And the winner of this game will play the winner of the next game, Dave Chisnell or Ian White.
Treble 16, not going to find it, but has got time on his side. Yeah, it's easy to follow this afternoon, played in the draw bracket order. This is a section of the draw where 4 seeded players did come through. We'll run through the lineup at the conclusion of this leg as van Gerwen looks at double 12 to win it. Double 6. And he hasn't hit, and Webster has a chance for an early break here.
Great opportunity for Darren to double his lead. He's going to have one shot at the bullseye and hits it right bang in the middle.
One chance for Darren Webster. The smallest target on the board and hit by the smallest man in the field. And Webster does double his advantage.
100.
And he does get out of the blocks, Darren Webster. And van Gerwen yet to awaken.
Yes, this best of 11 format, obviously the players are very used to playing games over this length, but there isn't a great deal of time. If you do have a sluggish start, you can soon find yourself really chasing and hanging on to the coattails of your opponent, and we've seen that this weekend on a number of occasions.
Yep, Simon Whitlock a whitewash win yesterday against Jan Dekker. Van Gerwen has been whitewashed on that stage, beaten 6-0 in the final last year by Peter Wright, who will be in action later against Danny Noppert. Before that, we've got Jamie Lewis against Paul Nicholson, a couple of unseeded players going head-to-head. And then Michael Smith against Jermaine Watermaner. Whitlock takes on Suljevic in the penultimate match after Cullen has faced Kyle Anderson, and it finishes off with Rob Cross, who missed double 18 for a 9-darter last night against James Wade in a tasty finish to this afternoon session. Will this be a tasty finish for Darren Webster? Not this time, and van Gerwen might have to take out something huge here.
Big outshot to get him back in the game, and it won't happen now. So Darren Webster for a 3-0 lead, halfway towards what he needs to make it through to the quarterfinals. Now looking at double 5, and hits double 5.
Well, Darren Webster at the halfway house, and Michael van Gerwen hasn't taken a step yet. Familiar position. MVG having to play chaser against the demolition man. That 180 against the darts. There is the response from Michael van Gerwen.
Back-to-back 180s. We get the crowd on their feet here. Another packed house here at the Glass Palace. Superb venue. And that's why we've come back year after year here to Sindelfingen.
140.
They were queuing around the block again a couple of hours before the doors opened in their various get-ups and costumes.
96. Michael Van 86.
Right then, to get on the board, he's got 2 darts. At double 16. And finally, Michael van Gerwen gets a leg on the ledger.
They're getting off to an absolute fly yet again with another 180.
Yeah, no let up from Webster.
Can he follow it up? The answer is no.
57.
And you mentioned those 2 unseeded players playing each other later, Jamie Lewis and Paul Nicholson. As MVG hits another maximum. That's a great opportunity for either of those players to make it through to the quarterfinals and pick up £4,000 in prize money.
100.
Well, Darren Webster has earned himself a great opportunity here, but Michael van Gerwen might be about to strike. Unless Webster can take out something special. He's looking at 54 for the ball now. Oh, it's on. And again, Darren Webster bangs in the bullseye, and look what it means to him. That could be the pivotal moment in this match, and indeed in this tournament. A 164. What a shot that was.
Absolutely extraordinary. Again, slap bang in the middle of the bullseye. Couldn't be any more accurate, Darren Webster. And the crowd cheering his name. They're getting behind him. They're loving what they're seeing this afternoon.
58.
Oh, van Gerwen's playing at the same standard as he produced yesterday against Tabern, but Webster, crucial finishers. A couple of bullseyes, 64 in the first leg. That 164.
133.
Quite incredible stuff.
And could we see the biggest scalp of all, the number 1 seed, exiting right at the start of the third round afternoon here. Well, he's favourite to take this 6th leg.
118. Michael Van 40.
If he can hit tops, which he does at the first attempt.
7 legs Darren to throw first. Game on.
To reduce the arrears to 2 legs.
Still a long way back. This could be a very crucial leg because Webster's only hit 60. Van Gerwen's matched that in his first dart.
140.
Still a long way back for Michael van Gerwen, but if you're going to back anyone to come back,
85.
needing to break a couple of times, it might be wise to put your chip on the world number 1.
And the tide can turn quickly, as we said, as Darren hits his 3rd maximum of the match. We saw yesterday afternoon Jelle Klassen get off to an absolute flyer, hitting everything and going 3-0 up very quickly against Watamina, and then go completely off the boil. Watamina hit 6 legs in a row to win 6-3.
137 the target. Does he look at a couple of tops? That's the way he's gone. And that's the way he's done it. And he celebrates Darren Webster too. That shot could be every bit as big as a 164. The second showpiece checkout of the match. Michael van Gerwen, 2 on tops. Will he end up on top of Darren Webster? A belting start to the final day of action here at the European Darts Grand Prix.
Yes, well, if this is the shape of things to come, then the fans in the Glass Palace and wherever you're watching us on PDC TV, you're in for an absolute treat.
125. 59.
Just 59. What can Darren do in response? Well, not a great deal, unfortunately. Not punished.
100.
Well, that's a bit more like it.
100. 58.
Down to a finish, but a big one.
Yeah, wouldn't have the back pocket policy of being able to go for 2 doubles at the end of this one. 2 trebles were required.
140.
And Webster has a chance to steal back the advantage. In a game of big finishes, this can still be done.
54.
Needed a third bullseye checkout, but Van Gerwen looking at double 10 to tie it up. Double 5 to stay alive and level up this tie. Webster still has the advantage of throwing first in 2 of the last 3 legs.
From 3-0 down to 4 apiece. And effectively a best of 3 match now.
85.
The last time Van Gerwen was beaten in the last 16 of a European Tour event was last year in Leverkusen at the hands of Rob Cross.
Rob Cross we'll see later on against James Wade. That should be another tasty encounter to end the 3rd round session this afternoon.
140.
Van Gerwen did pick up the first 2 titles of 2018 on the Euro Tour, but was beaten in the quarters by Ian White in Saarbrücken before sitting out the tournament in Graz. Determined to return to winning ways, and that will help. Maximum number 4 for Michael van Gerwen. Leaves him on 96. He did have the choice to go for another double-double shot there, opted not to, and Darren Webster's hit the bullseye twice in this match. He's going to get a dart at least that target. It is the ball.
88.
This time nowhere near.
40.
So for a chance to lead for the first time in this match, double top hit with ease by MVG, and now finds himself throwing for the match when just a few minutes ago that man there, Darren Webster, looked to be in cruise control.
77.
Yeah, must feel like an unintentional pace setter. Darren Webster for Michael van Gerwen. Makes all the early running, then MVG comes charging back and pips him at the post. Is it going to follow that pattern again?
85. 80. 80.
There's a chance here for Darren Webster to at least put himself in the position to force a last leg decider. He's down to a finish first.
And it's a game that you feel certainly deserves going all the way to a decider.
Darren will feel that he deserves it. I'm not sure Michael van Gerwen would agree. But a chance for another big checkout. Double 12. Wonderful, wonderful stuff from Webster. Another crucial checkout, another huge checkout, and a huge leg now, folks, as Darren Webster has the darts to send the world number 1 packing from the European Darts Grand Prix.
100.
Superb stuff to start the afternoon here in Sindelfingen.
48.
And some pretty tidy checkouts from both players, you have to say.
Yeah, but he hasn't packed a punch in his first visit here, Michael van Gerwen. It certainly is advantage to the demolition man.
He
couldn't find a treble.
Every visit crucial.
99.
Webster still has a slight advantage. One big visit could seal it. He'll be hoping not to have to rely on another huge checkout. But he might have to, because Van Gerwen is making his move.
136.
Yeah, big shot here needed by Darren, and a big shot coming in.
123.
It's not an absolute disaster. Gets him down to a finish. Van Gerwen's going to be much more handily placed. Well, Webster, he's had 164, he's had 141. He's not going to take out 160 for the match. And Michael van Gerwen may well pip him at the post once again.
78 then for the match. He's been pushed all the way, but comfortably through with that finish in the 11th and deciding leg in the end. Smiles from Darren Webster. He knows he's been in the game. But MVG, the number 1 seed, safely through. He will take on the winner of the next match in tonight's first quarter-final.